What's going on, guys? This is Bernardo from the BTNHD, and today is all about installing and configuring FileZilla Server on Windows Server 2019. So let's get started. On my desktop, I'm going to right click on the start menu, click on run, type in WinVer, hit OK, and I'm running everything within a Server 2019 build 17763. Okay. Now, we need to open up your favorite browser. My favorite browser is Google Chrome, and I'm going to type in FileZilla, hit enter, make sure that you are clicking on the right site that is pointing to FileZilla-project.org. It's going to take you here. You're going to click on the download FileZilla server. It's going to take you to another web page. So click on download FileZilla server. If you want to learn more information, click on the learn more. If not, just click on download. It's going to download the exe file. On Chrome, I'm going to click on the little arrow, click on show in folder. It's going to open up my downloads folder. I'm going to right click on that file, run it as an administrator. Now from here, we're going to click on I agree, click next. I'm going to leave the destination folder to C drive, but you are able to change it. So I'm going to click next here. From here, I'm going to leave the default ports for the interface of FileZilla to be 14.14.7, but you are able to change it. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to click next on that. For the startup settings, I'm going to leave the default and just click install. It's going to start installing and done, completed. Click close. Once it's completed and you click on close, it's going to launch itself and it's going to want you to enter a password. Now by default, it doesn't have a password. So what you could do is just click on connect. Again, there's no password, but we need to assign a password. Okay. Also take in consideration for me, this server is behind a NAT router. So I need to configure passive mode settings, which we are going to go over pretty soon, so don't worry about it. So we are going to click on edit, go to settings. Within settings, we are going to go inside admin interface settings. And like I said before, you are able to change the admin interface port, which by default is 14.14.7. You can change it to whatever you want. And then check off, change admin password, provide a new password, and then confirm it. And that will be your new password to start your server. Okay. Now, next thing that we need to do is go inside general settings, and by default, the FTP site is set to 21. That is the default port for FTP. I recommend that you guys change it. For this video, I'm going to leave everything as the default, all right, just to keep everything nice and simple. Now, next thing that we need to do is go inside FTP over TLS settings. By default is not enabled, so we are going to enable FTP over TLS support, which will give us FTPS. Also give a check mark to disallow plain unencrypted FTP. If you have an SSL certificate already for your FTP site, you can actually insert it here. I don't have one, so I'm going to click on generate a new certificate. You're going to get the dialog box, just pick your key size, enter all the information, and then click on generate, and then you're going to get this nice little warning: certificate generated successfully. So click OK, get out of that, and the next thing that we need to do is, by default, your TLS connection is 990. I recommend changing that as well, but for this video, I'm leaving it as 990. Once you're done with all those settings, just click OK. And again, I'm still getting that little red line stating that my machine is behind a NAT firewall. I need to configure the settings for passive mode, so don't freak out because I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We need to configure our Windows firewall, so we are going to click on start typing in Windows firewall or just firewall, and just make sure you're clicking on Windows Defender with advanced security. Let that load up. We're going to go inside inbound rules, right click on that, go to new rule. It's going to be ports, click next, and specify the ports that you provided. Now, again, for me, for my example, my ports was 21 and 990, but hopefully you guys change it within your environment. So whatever ports you gave your FTP as well as your FTPS, make sure you add them here. Once you add them there, you click next, modify the rules to be applied to your domain, private or public. This is really up to you and your environment. Click next, provide it a name, and then you're good to go. Now, next thing that we need to do is go back inside your FileZilla server console and then click on edit and then go to groups. Now, within groups, we need to create a group, and I'm going to click on add and then provide a name and then hit OK. Now, the group that I gave was BTNHD FTP users. So whoever's inside this group will have access to the FTP site and also the share folder, which I'm going to provide that group. Now, if you click on share folders, there's no directory that's being shared out. So I'm going to click on add and I'm going to pick my directory and done. Before you continue here, make sure that you give the proper files and directory permissions to this particular group. okay? So right now, by default, this group is only going to have read access. If you want this group to have write and delete, make sure you make those changes. Once you make those modifications, just click OK. Now, next thing that we need to do is create a user, right? So we are going to click on Edit, go to User, and then from here, we are going to click on Add, create a username, and then hit that drop down, and then pick your group to add that user into, and then hit OK. Now, by default, it's enabled, so we need to give a password, because if you don't have a password for your user account, that means once anyone can have the username, and they could just log into your FTP site. So enable password, provide a password, and then hit OK, and then good to go. Now, I found a machine that was off-site. I did all this testing within Azure. So Azure and then local is two different networks. So I found this, I entered my host. So put the username, put the password, and then the port by default is 21, but if you want, you are able to enter 21. When I hit connect, you're going to get this. This is a FileZilla thing. Don't say the password and just hit OK. And then because I created a self-assigned certificate, I got this and then hit OK. When I went back inside the server, I went inside the FileZilla server console and I saw that it was trying to connect, but it was still giving me errors. I went back, I retried again, and the directory wasn't being listed. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, oh, it's the passive mode. So I went inside the server, the FileZilla server. I went to Edit, went to Settings, and within here, I went inside passive mode settings. Now by default, it's kind of turned off. It's weird because you have to like uncheck use custom port range and then provide a port for the passive mode. All right. Once you do that, you have to go back inside Start, go inside Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security, and then create a inbound rule for that passive port. All right. And then restart the FileZilla server, and then it should work with no problem. Go back inside your FileZilla client. Click on Quick Connect. It's going to give you this. It's already connected. It's going to stay already connected, but I want to abort the previous connection and connect in current tab. So hit OK. It's going to establish. If everything works well, it should say directory listing /successful. Yes, directory is there. Yeah, awesome. So if you go back inside the server, you look at your FileZilla server console, you're going to see that BTNHD, the user account, established the connection successfully, and it actually mounted the directory that I shared out to that particular group. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on how to install and configure FileZilla server within Server 2019. If you have any comments or concerns, leave them at the bottom. Don't forget about hitting that like button. Also, make sure to punch, smash, elbow that subscribe button, and share out the video. And I catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.